¿Quién se robó los colores? Who Stole the Colors is the name of the new edition of my book. And it tells the story of a butterfly who turns into a girl. And this girl starts a journey through different color kingdoms. And she has a very important mission, and the mission is to save the colors. And there is an evil guy, he's really bad news, and he stole the colors. And her mission is to get back the colors into each kingdom. Who stole the colors? ¿Quién se robó los colores? Is for an audience that we call heritage speakers. That means that people born in the US and they have learned Spanish just by listening to their parents at home, but they never had a formal training to learn the language. My book is written in Spanish, and then I thought about my audience, and I said, okay, I am going to design exercises and compositions and readings, especially for this kind of audience. I work also with Dr. Alicia Brailoff from BCC, and then we worked together because I needed to restructure this book. And it has two special things that I should mention now. One is that the spectacular illustrations, because the illustrator, his name is Scott Ritchie. He lives in Canada, he travels, and actually he's now in Hawaii. And then we work through email, and we had many telephone conversations, but he knew exactly how to translate my words into images. And I wanted someone who could really understand what I was saying. And then I'm going to give you an example. In the story, there is a main character. Her name is R, and then she has to go to different kingdoms. And at one point, she encounters insects, and these insects, ants, are very special. And because I took that idea from some ants in Colombia, species that they have a huge behind, and in Spanish they are called hormigas culonas, which hormigas with a big behind. So I wanted to tell my illustrator what I was talking about, and he said, "I'm sorry, I don't understand what you are saying." And I said, "Okay, I have to tell the story what it is." And when I was telling him the story about these insects, he looked at it in the internet, and then he got the picture of these. And by the way, they are eatable and they are delicious. So, and part of what it makes this story also funny and humorous is that the main character encounters very spooky characters through all her journey. And then I was very pleased to see these beautiful illustrations. And Scott has been illustrating for the New Yorker, for the Wall Street Journal. I think he's very professional. And I think it gives this book, new edition, completely a new image. ¿Quién se robó los colores? Will help them to understand not only the language, Spanish language, but also their own culture, where they come from. And we share a common culture. When I'm saying we, I'm talking about Hispanics from the States, from Mexico, and Mexico to all the way down to Latin America. The common history is the pre-Columbian history. And then what I did is I took a myth, a pre-Columbian myth, based on a Colombian tribe in Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta in Colombia, and I use it as a basis to write ¿Quién se robó los colores? Because I also think that it's extremely important for any reader not only to deal with the grammar, but to understand some culture and their history, their own history, our history. And I think when you read any kind of text it could be a literary text or a poem, it could be a newspaper article. I think it should be enjoyable, but at the same time you should learn something. There are many expressions that they could be only said in Spanish, and then they will learn what it means and how to say it and how to use it in the context of a sentence. And the other thing that is very important about this new edition is that we add some words in Spanish that they are being used by heritage speakers in the United States. First of all, I have to confess, and I'm very proud of that I am a writer. I write fiction. I have novels. One is Mi Vestido Verde Esmeralda, my emerald green dress, which was translated into English and Italian. And I also have another novel, which is Los sueños de los hombres se los fuman las mujeres. And I also have a couple of essays. And I write also for the most important newspaper in Colombia, which is El Tiempo of Colombia. But I also write nonfiction, and I write, let us say, textbooks, because I really want to use all what I know, my background, and to put it in such a way that I could reach more people. And because I am instructor of language, Spanish language, I think also my duty, I think, is to convey all that knowledge. And my background, my Colombian background, my Hispanic culture, and I think it is important for readers in the States to know that they can approach their own culture. And I think a reader such as Quien se robó los colores will help them to really to understand where they come from, and also to feel very proud of their own literature and their own traditions.